Did we hear any stories about maybe Cara Saunders making it out to this event?
No,
Okay.
I have not.
Now we are 6th, 5th, 4th, and 3rd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. The girls, aka Humbler Killers, All American Girls, P10 performance, and now we recognize all the names.
Right, and so this is tough. I mean, it's really difficult to say who's going to have necessarily better chemistry. A team of Brooke Wells, Amanda Barnard, Christy Aramo, or Alex Gazan, Carrie Pearson, Ariel Lowen. Gazan has had the opportunity to learn from Carrie Pierce over the last couple of years in Vegas. Even though Carrie didn't compete this year, she was still very much present and part of their crew out there. It's awesome that she's coming back to compete. And there are a couple workouts that team could have top 3 finishes on. But I think you could say that about every team in the top 7 here.
Let's talk about Carrie Pierce for a second. So she retired. People calling her the greatest American female CrossFitter who ever lived, and we haven't seen her on the competition floor in how long?
1 year.
A little over a year and a half.
Yeah, it's only been a year.
What do you think is going on here? You think this is just fun, or you think she's jonesing for some field play, some field time? You think this is to test the waters to see if, maybe she was burnt out, or she wanted to just get her business started, the abs business, and now she's coming back to make another run? You think we're going to see her try to go to the games this year?
Just thinking about it, a lot of these athletes that have said that they're retiring, we see them come back into the fray. They just love doing it, and they've been doing it for so long. I think that maybe Carrie, I wouldn't be shocked if Underdogs put together a team at some point and Carrie Pierce was on it. And then 2 years from now, she's eligible for the Masters division. So maybe she does this. She loves it. They put a team together. She does team this year and goes Masters the year after that. I mean, that would not surprise me.
Christine Kohlenbrander, Fee Sagafi, Alexis Raptis, another amazing team, strong team, capable of a lot of stuff. And then, of course, the top team up there, Taylor Williamson, Andrea Nisler, and Sydney Michalishin. Sydney has a lot to gain this week.
Well, I actually misspoke. There are two women on that team that are competing as individuals, and maybe that's why John, in this case, weighted them less than I did.
Yeah, John, why 6th?
I mean, just because I think the individual games athletes are better. Similar to last year, Ryan had Rich's team winning, and I had them like 5th. And it's because Travis Mayer, Chandler Smith, and Noah Olson were a team. Like, more games athletes were becoming teams, and I think the fitter people will always win, no matter how good your team dynamic is. It's just, if you're close, the team dynamic makes a huge difference. But if you're not close, then I think being fitter will always reign superior. And nobody on that team is as fit as Brooke Wells. Nobody on that team is as fit as Amanda Barnhart, and nobody on that team is as fit as Christy Aramo.
I agree.
I'm willing to say the same with the Humble Killers. I don't think anybody on that team is fitter than anybody on Ariel Lowen's team. And that's why I rank them where I rank them.
That team is pretty crazy. That All-American Girls team. That's like,
yeah. The one thing that I would say to counter John there, and he's not wrong, I don't think. I mean, a lot of people do think Andrea Nisler's top 20, top 15, something top 10 in the world. So maybe she's in the conversation with a couple of those women. But Nisler and Williamson, despite the fact that they're not amongst the fittest, always seem to find a way in these competitions to outperform what you think is possible. So
they're winners. They're winners.
Yeah, and
have they ever been in a field like this, though?
I mean, you could argue that at the Rogue Invitational in 2019, when they beat Rich's team, they're just good.
2019, 3 years ago.
Don't ask a question with ever in it if you're not going to count 2019, John.
Okay.
Yeah, John. Hey, what about this team right here? I think it's safe to say Brooke Wells and Amanda Barnhart are going to show up the fittest they've ever been in their lives. I'm just going to make that statement. What about Christy O'Connell? Did she retire?
I don't know if she's officially retired or not.
You just can't say.
I don't think so.
I don't remember, but it's like in the last 18 months, so many athletes have announced quote unquote retirements, and then so many of them have backed down on it. I was planning to write an article about it after Morning Chalk Up like a year ago, and then all these people just started changing their mind, and I just scrapped the idea because I couldn't even consider it a retirement. So I can't keep track anymore who's retired and who's not necessarily, but Christy's an amazing teammate, and she will fit into this team very well. They could definitely podium.
They could win it.
I don't think they can win, but I definitely think they can podium.
Yeah, they're definitely in podium contention.
Okay. Let's go down a little bit more. Let's look at this top 3. Yeah, you guys are fucking nuts. These are some horrible. These top 2 are not going to be top 2. You guys are wrong.
Okay.
Hey, there's no way. Gabby and Jamie have too big. You're that team number 1 right there. I just see it's just a team full of holes.
Where are the holes?
You know where the holes are.
So I just have to look at this real quick. So Sevan, here's an example. They announced this workout yesterday. Start fast, finish faster for the teams. In this workout, there are a total of 84 handstand push-ups, 84 pistols, and 84 chest to bar pull-ups.
Yeah.
You are probably immediately thinking, well, what exactly? Case in point. But only one athlete has to do handstand push-ups.
And
Only
Jamie
one athlete has to do.
Only one.
Filthy
only one. Only one has to, or only one can.
Only one can.
Oh, okay.
Only one can do pistols, and only one can do chest to bar. So they're able to avoid problems. And this lifting event, there's a 3-rep max overhead squat, a 2-rep max front squat, 1-rep max shoulder overhead. Again, you can mix and match and capitalize on everyone's strengths and weaknesses. On the ring and bar muscle ups, squat clean and squat snatches, if you, like we said, if you have one athlete that's really good on the rings, Jamie Simmons, Laura's not bad either. Gabby doesn't have to do any ring muscle ups. That's amazing for her. If someone's not as good with squat clean, maybe it's a little heavy for Jamie relative to the other, she can snatch. So there's plenty ways to mix and match around in this competition. And there are some cases like the swimming. If you have a bad swimmer, you're going to be exposed on that. But in a lot of the workouts, there's an opportunity to hide, which is not often the case in team competitions, which is one of the reasons why I'm thinking this team can win.
Let me ask you this, just for shits and giggles. Let's just with these top 4 teams here. John, team 1, who's going to do the handstand push-ups?
Jamie Simmons.
Brian, is it Jamie Simmons? You agree?
Yeah.
Team 2, who's going to do the handstand push-ups? Annie, Mal, or Katrin?
Probably Mal, but Annie's also decent.
Team 3, who's going to do the handstand push-ups? Taylor, Andrea.
You didn't
Nistler?
even ask if I agreed.
Oh, do you agree?
I think Annie might, because I think that Mal is a lot better than her at pistols and Katrin.
Yeah. I mean, if you have to pick and pop, then Annie, yeah, for sure, because Mal's amazing at pistols.
Number 3, Taylor, Andrea, or Sydney Mikulishin?
That's going to be a bad workout for their team.
Yeah. Probably Andrea, but that's damage control.
So you're saying that they have to pick which one's the best, but none of them are super efficient at it at 80. And then Andrea, do you agree, Brian? Andrea Nistler?
Yeah, but I mean, if in the preview articles that I've written, I specifically selected that team for damage control for this workout. Like, it's not going to be a good workout for them.
Geez Louise, John, make up your mind, John. I know that was pretty good.
What have I gone back and forth on?
Well, Brian was just telling you probably Annie. You're just a target for any misplaced aggression, John. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So there's a psychological term for it. You're a scapegoat. Number 4, the 14, Brooke Wells, Amanda Barnhart, Christy Arama O'Connell. Who will do the handstand push-ups, Brian?
This is a tough pick for this team. Christy won't do the pull-ups, but she's the best pick for both the handstand push-ups and the pistols.
So do that. Amanda Barnhart will do the handstand push-ups because Amanda Barnhart is filthy at handstand push-ups, and Christy Aramo, she could do pistols better than the other 2.
Okay, and scroll down just one more, and go down here. So look, Alex Kazan, Carrie
that could win that workout, right?
Yeah, and so we know who's going to do the handstand push-ups there, right? Carrie Pierce. She beat
the workout is not one on the handstand push-ups. It's I think it's one in totality because it's only 42 handstand push-ups, correct, Brian?
Twice, 42 times 2.
Still, like, all of these athletes are capable of doing that very, very, very fast.
John, don't call any of these ladies filthy ever again. It's a term of endearment outside. It's a term of endearment.
Carrie Pierce isn't even the best handstand push-upper in this field.
Who you think
Raptis.
Alexis Raptis is?
Yeah.
Whoa, is that true, Brian?
She beat her on a strict handstand push-up workout 2 years ago at semifinals.
Wow. For those of you who are new to the game, Carrie Pierce had this remarkable finish. I believe it was at the CrossFit Games where she beat not only all of the women, but
2019 Mary, yes.
and all of the men. And you don't see that. Has that ever? Is that the only workout that's ever happened?
No, Tia's beaten everybody before.
Swimming workouts. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Okay. Back to the top three. We'll look at these. Great explanation, Brian and John. Thank you.
Great question, Sevan.
Thank you. Should we just log off and hug each other?
We should switch over to the men. Unless you, I mean, who do you think is going to win of these teams, Sevan?
Well, now that you said it, I'm starting to believe you a little bit. But I think that Brooke Wells, Amanda Barnhart, Christy Aramo, O'Connell team just sounds.
I did not expect John to also pick BPN to win. I think that the easy and most popular pick is definitely the daughters with Mal.
But we have this problem with Katrin. We don't know. She's been on a severe decline, wouldn't you say?
I think
and
that
Team BPN has the 2023 CrossFit Games champion on it.
now he's gonna piss some people off with that.
Who's the champ? You think Laura's winning the games, John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I think more people would pick Mal than Laura to win the games next year. John and I both also favor Laura, so maybe we're a little bit in that, like, biased in that regard with these picks. But basically, when this team was announced, the daughters team, there was so much hype around it. And the day before the BPN team was announced, and I'm sitting here thinking, I know that daughters team looks impressive and is extremely endearing, and their resumes are great, but don't sleep on that BPN team. Like, they can hold their own. I think this is going to be a dogfight.
I think you nailed it. I think that the daughters team is endearing, but I think Katrin David's daughter is the biggest wild card in the entire field, even more so than Sarah Sigmund's daughter.
It may have been Keith Gordon also off. If it was someone else, I apologize. He often puts good comments though, and he specifically talked about this in the comment section on my Instagram post and said, "Look, if you're just putting these teams next to each other, you got a little bit of unknown in both Katrin and Jamie, who are coming off of less than desirable years last year, both missing the games and being close to making it. You have Laura and Mal, the two biggest contenders to win the games next year in almost everyone's minds. And then you have Gabby and Annie, the last time she competed individual at the games, was on the podium, and Gabby's been threatening to be in that conversation. So it is pretty even on paper, and it's going to come down to, teamwork, execution, strategy. None of them are doing the individual field of competition, so they should all be healthy and ready to go. But I think you're going to see a lot of top three finishes out of both these teams, and a small amount of points being the difference in the end.
I also think that after this weekend, Mal O'Brien's confidence is going to skyrocket regardless of where she places. I think if she doesn't know how amazing she is, she's about to find out. Because being with Annie and Katrin, she's going to get to see up close that Mal's on a whole nother level.
Yeah, if she's waiting on them in workouts, she'll know that she's fitter than the best in the world.
This is also a great point, by the way. There is that chemistry between Annie and Katrin is pretty remarkable, and if they keep their heads in the right place, which they're pretty good at doing when they're together, they could really elevate each other. So that's another great.
Yeah, and certainly if it comes on Sunday and Katrin and Annie and Mal win, neither John or I are going to be like, "Damn, didn't see that coming." We just think that Laura's team has just as good of a chance.
Mal isn't short on confidence. Ask her. I don't think she can talk. I don't think I'm not even sure if Mal has a tongue. So but I would be curious to ask her. But I don't even presume she has a tongue. Okay. Off to the men. Oh, one more time. Sorry. Okay, fine. One more time to the female. Sorry. Okay, so just so you know, the winners, both these gentlemen have picked the winner to be the team BPN. I think that's like some sort of protein powder. Laura Horvath, Jamie Simmons, Gabriella Magawa, pronounced with a W. Do we know what camp Gabriella Magawa is in?
Training wise?
Yeah.
I don't think she's really formally with a camp.
Okay. All right. Going to be amazing. Look at all those names, people. Those people will all be on the floor at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah, crazy. If I haven't told you yet, this is going to be the greatest team competition ever in terms of caliber. It's only Wodapalooza's to fuck up, which they won't.